I want now for a moment to verbring with you for the last few minutes because today, Baruch Hashem, is my 40th anniversary, and it brings to mind just to talk a few words about. Thank you. What a marriage is, what the purpose of marriage is, a purpose of anniversary, and also it's a time when you reflect on, why are you here? Why did Hashem send you on earth? So we got married in Melbourne, Australia. My wife's best childhood friend was in New York. She was married to a friend of mine, and they thought we'd be a shidduch. Although, some wondered personality-wise how it was a shidduch, but it was a shidduch. You know why? Because the Rebbe sanctioned the shidduch. Before the Rebbe gave his approval, there was nothing to talk about. That's the way it is for us Lubavitch Chassidim. And it's that way today too. Even though the Rebbe is physically not here, but if you study his Torah and you identify with his thinking and it's real to you, you'll have the same experience. Anyway, so we get married there in Melbourne. 2 weeks later, I'm back in New York because the Rebbe was bringing Purim. Actually, a month later, I got married today, right? Yud Gimel, and tonight is Purim Katan. So a month from now is Purim. And like a young fool, I didn't stay longer in Australia to spend time with her grandfather, who was a chassid of the previous Rebbe and set up Chabad in Melbourne and saw Chassidim, and there were other Chassidim. I spent a little time with them, and Baruch Hashem, I remember things they told me, and I live with them. There were 5 older Chassidim that were there, some that still knew the Rashab. But, my strong feelings to be at the Farbrengen convinced me to come back. That's the Hashgacha Pratis. That's like the Rotz of a Shuv, In hindsight, that would have been a chance to explore more about the life of these Yidden in Russia and the Chassidim they saw and the Rabbeim that they saw and the Mesiras Nefesh. But anyway, that's the way it is. Anyway, so then the Rebbe sent us our shlichus to Marin County, California, and Avram reminded me of one of my former congregants. He just, this morning, he just says, do you know so-and-so? Because he moved to LA and Avram davened with him in a shul. So the Rebbe's work was something that was very rewarding, but the right thing. I didn't spend much time in Koilel. Most of my friends spent a year, some even spent 2 years. And I enjoyed learning, but I really wanted to go out and do the shlichus for Hashem, and for various reasons. It's a long story with many details, some of which I've shared in the past, some for another time in Mitzvah Hashem. We ended up in Marin County, and we were there for 8 years, and there's a lot of details to discuss those 8 years, what was done, the obstacles that I had to face, both from the outside and the inside. And Baruch Hashem, we established a Chabad house, a shul, with a mikveh, a men's mikveh, a women's mikveh, a Jewish bookstore, a yeshiva even, on a level of yeshiva, not just a day school, in those 8 short years. And then I transferred with the Rebbe's guidance. This was before the Rebbe had his stroke. I wrote him a letter of my thoughts and plan, and he answered me not just with I bless you, but he actually gave me instructions of how I should make the temporary transition. Temporary. And then Rabbi Kunin, who was in charge of California, accepted my idea, and after the 6 months to a year being in LA, and doing also a lot of teaching over there, and opening, I I felt that I can do much more for people in LA than California, in Marin County. Because in Marin County, I was pretty much a congregational rabbi with a very small group, and a very limited audience because of the nature of the location. And I was relegated to being a fundraiser, as I was called in a newspaper, a crackerjack fundraiser, which means, a very good fundraiser. Well, it's very nice to be called that, or maybe it's not so nice, but regardless, that's not what I saw my life as. And many people can be fundraisers. You didn't need me to be a fundraiser. And I felt that teaching Torah, especially Chassidus, to people is where I'm needed. And indeed, in LA, I started a Tuesday night class, and we had 50, 60 people, adults, on Pico Boulevard in Los Angeles, for those that know, a few blocks from Mesha Torah, and all of a sudden Chabad was bringing in lots of people who were learning, and it was a very, very special time. And my family was growing then and growing. Baruch Hashem, we had another child. And then we opened up a cafe called Cafe Shmooze, which was a hidden Chabad house. 6,000 people came through our doors in 1 year. Bob Dylan's son-in-law, Peter Himmelman, performed, and others. And it was written up into the LA Times. I still would like to do that again, but so far it hasn't happened. But I haven't given up on the idea. So from there, the yeshiva brought me back here to New York to work for them. And then I started my writing career and teaching and lecturing. So you have a family, you have a wife, you get married. How do you balance your own ambitions, your own desires, your own talents? And it's very important for a person to live their talents, not to give up their dream. In other words, even if for some reason you have to do something that's really not your love, what you're best at, never give up what you're best at. And always say, I'll get back to it. I'll give you an example. I just finished today Masechtas Tractate Tainis. I took it for Yutas Kislev. And I've been pretty much learning every day, right? I haven't learned Gemara, in a long time. And even this is not considered the same level of learning that I did when I was learning Gemara in yeshiva. But I always said to myself, the last 40 years, one day, as I get older, I'm going to get back to Gemara and learning it deeper and deeper and deeper. Because when I was in yeshiva, that's the depth I learned Gemara with when I was 17, 16, 17, 18, 19. So in other words, a person should say, right now I can't do this. Right now I'm busy. I'm raising a family. I have to put together money. But those things that are important and that I'm really best at and really want to give the world this, I will get back to it. And if you really believe in it, you will get back to it at some point with Hashem's help. If God forbid Hashem has another plan, that's a different story. We can't. But with Hashem's help, everything's with Hashem's help. You have to keep living the dream. I'm very serious. And this is something so important today, especially for our kids and grandkids, not to accept mediocrity. We need to strive for excellence. It's not enough to be second best. You need to be best. Understandably, that shouldn't be the goal. In other words, it's the process, not in all of that. We know that. But at the same time, excellence. So if you know to yourself you're excellent in a certain thing, find ways to share that with others. And don't allow people from the inside and the outside, but especially the inside, to distract you. Because people have a tendency, especially people from the inside, to poo-poo what you're doing, to say, come on, we know who you really are. So you know this argument, you could fool others, but you can't fool us. Have you heard that, guys? I'm sure you have, right? Don't be fathomed. Criticism is criticism, and if it's correct, work with it. But don't allow that to poo-poo your excellence and what you want to give to the world. Do it better, etc., etc. And this is what an anniversary is about, what a marriage is about, what a union is about, what building a family is about, is to live and show yourself and all those around you that there is a purpose and a mission and an objective here. This isn't just, you do what you want, you get up when you want, you go to sleep when you want. No, you're a soldier. We are soldiers in the army of Hashem. And when Hashem grants you, an anniversary, especially, 40-year anniversary and the like. And some of what I'm saying, the Rebbe spoke about when at his 25th anniversary and his 50th anniversary. He made a Farbrengen. This big Lubavitcher Rebbe, this big tzaddik, is speaking a little about his own, and he explained it's not about his own thing, It's sharing what we could learn from his experiences for everyone's life. And I'm doing the same thing. And that it's a time to reflect that there is rhyme and reason here. Things are exactly the way they need to be. Don't play if I were God. It's the wrong way of thinking about things. Hashem knows exactly what he's doing and how he wants it to be. And we have to have the bittul, the modesty, the humility to accept it. And when we do, when we accept it, as it says here at the end of chapter 50, Be'ezas Chaya Chaim Baruch Hu, Hashem helps you, the living God helps you, and you could look back and say, I wanted to accomplish it, and Hashem helped me, and I accomplished it. And I wish everyone to be able to say that, because I am able, Baruch Hashem, to say that at this stage in my life. Many things, not all, but many things that I wanted to do, I've done, Baruch Hashem, and I believe has benefited many people, and will continue in Yirtzeh Hashem, as Hashem Yisbarach. So I'm very, very grateful and thankful to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for giving me the gesund, the health, to be able to do that, because without health, you can't do much. Like Reb Mendel said, what did Reb Mendel say? You lose your money, you're still a mensch, because one day you have it, one day you don't. God forbid if you lose your health, you're a half of a mensch. If you lose your drive, you're no mensch at all. The drive is even greater than the health. But the health is very important. So we have to watch our health. I'm talking to myself, and I'm sure you're talking to yourself. And ask Hashem to be kind, so that sometimes when we're not watching our health, for whatever reason, we ask Hashem, please have mercy on me and make me healthier and help me. Okay? Because I want to do what you want. I'm your agent. I'm your shliach. Okay? I'm not doing this because I need another dollar in my pocket, or I need fame, or I need honor. Anyone who thinks that way is a big fool, and we're Hasidim. We're Lubavitcher Hasidim. The first thing in Lubavitch is to knock out the fool. Don't be a fool. That's what Elichai and Karlbach, Shlomo Karlbach's brother, told us, Yoni, in Los Angeles. on the shul on La Brea and East 3rd. That time, Rabbi Naftali Astulin, the shliach for the Russians, he was the Rav there, and we had a Fabrengen there. This was in 1981 or 82. And we heard that Shlomo's brother, Rabbi Chaim, came because his son-in-law and daughter lived in L.A., Rabbi Citrin, Chaim Citrin. So here we knew that he was a chassid of the previous Rebbe yet. So he came, and one of my friends was smoking cigarettes, and I told you he was making circles with the smoke. And he got very upset, and he said, you're a big fool. It's bad enough you're smoking. You're making circles at a Fabrengen. And then he said to us, the first thing I learned when I came to Lubavitch from Lakewood was to get rid of your fool. Because that's even worse than the worst Aveira, than the worst transgression is being a fool. You know, there's certain things that you don't need. The Shulchan Aruch doesn't have to tell you you're not allowed to do it. You got to use your brains. You got to use your common sense. Anyway, Chevra, I just wanted to fabreg a little bit with you. And everyone should be blessed to reach their 40th anniversary of Mitzvah Hashem. Maybe some have already. I don't know. And not to stop there. The 50th, the 60th, the 70th, the 80th. Hashem wants to give life. He gives life in a healthy way, in a chassidish way, in a geschmacka way, and we should all be learning together for many more years chassidus, and really see Mashiach, because only Mashiach will bring an end to this chaos and war and constant. It's so cuckoo. It's so difficult out there, especially with Eretz Yisrael, that we need Mashiach. Ein lanu elazeh. This is the only solution, the ultimate solution. So that's it. L'chaim, l'chaim. Thank you. Yeah. I can't hear you. What?
The Davis should bench you with many more years.
Amen.
At least you and your Rebbe.
Amen.
Give you all the gashmis and the ruchnis you need.
Amen. Amen.
In this world.
And besimcha. So we'll see everyone with Hashem on Monday. We'll start chapter 51 of Bli Neder, and have a great Shabbos. Zayidazim. Take care. Bye.
Shabbos.
Good Shabbos.